Hi, this is Bill of Escape Surfboards, and today I'd like to talk about the boards that are best suited for surfing winter waves. Starting off with the vaccine, this is our high performance board that we've been designing over the last 10 to 15 years. We keep on developing this board depending on feedback from our pro surfers. Nowadays the board comes with a single concave all the way through. There's maximum depth just in front of the fins here at about 5 millimeters. Flowing out the tail to flat with a little bit of V here, that just enhances the rail kick in the tail here to make the board turn better off the top of the wave. These boards come typically in 5'10" to 6'3". This one is actually 6 foot by 18.5. Boards of this nature are slightly wider than they were a few years ago. That's just basically the tendency of high performance boards, where we are moving towards slightly wider type plan shape. The Vulture's been a very popular board over the last few years. Again, we're keeping on developing this board. It's now single concave in the bottom shape, coming to flat V in the tail to again enhance that rail shape to give that bit extra kick in here. This board doesn't have as much kick in the tail, natural rip rock in the tail as the vaccine. It's got quite a flat entry. It's slightly full-on plan shape. These boards come typically in sizes from 5'9" to 6'3", and this is the 5'11" model, 5'11" by 19.75". Moving on to the next board in our range. This one will be the Screamer. This is a board that again we've been using for the last 4 or 5 years. We kept on developing it. Originally it was a single concave channel in the bottom here, but now we've removed the channels and we made the concave here deeper. The entry, as was before, is still V in the nose here. That just helps the board break into the wave a little bit earlier when you're taking off. This board is designed more as an intermediate type board. It's come typically like this one as a 6'6" by 21.25". It's got quite a lot of volume here. The outline has the wide point quite well forward, which makes this rail line here quite straight. That gives you really good control in bigger waves, as opposed to most fish which tend to come out a bit wider here, a bit more curvy, and they tend to be a bit skittery when the waves are bigger. So that's the reason why I put this board as a winter board, because although it is a fish type board, it has this straighter outline than the back tail here, which means it holds in much better on bigger waves. Also, this board features with a convert fin system, so you can change it to a quad or thruster depending on the wave conditions. Obviously if the waves are bigger, then you might want to put it to a quad, give that bit more stability and grip on the bigger waves. So that's the Screamer. Moving on to our mid-sized boards, let's start off with this one here. This is our new design, it's called the Chisel. I designed this based on a board that I had about 25 years ago. It's definitely, I suppose, more of a retro design, but I've put a lot of new features into it. The nose features roll V in the nose to quite a high rail here, quite a high and thin rail, coming down to a thin and rounded rail in the middle point, and then a low, thin rail in the tail. The bottom shape runs from roll V in the nose, coming to slightly less roll, a little bit more flat in the middle point here, to flat V in the tail. Just designed this to give you lots of break into the wave, lots of control in choppy waves. The board's going to go down the line nice and steadily, no fuss. It's going to be an easy board to paddle because it's got a flatter rocker, got a narrow nose, it's going to paddle through the waves pretty early, you're going to duck dive it pretty easily. Yeah, and I think this board you can surf this from, depending on your weight, I'd say you could make this board from 6'6" to 8 foot, maybe 8'2". Keep the volume quite high in it, so it's an easy board to paddle, going to catch the waves early. This particular board, I finished it with a single fin in the tail, and it's been laminated by Dan next door with a single layer of tinted resin on the bottom, tinted glass on the bottom, 4 ounce with a 6'4" deck, giving you that double tint on the rail, so therefore you've got this darker colour here on the rail. After the board has been laminated, we fitted the box, we sanded it, we then put another layer of resin on it as a gloss finish, and then Alex has polished it out to make it this high luster finish on it. It looks rather beautiful. We've got the gloss going on the bottom, around the rail, and then the deck is matte. So that's why That's how we get the effect of that. It's a very beautiful board, and 7'3". This will suit somebody of say 72 kilos up to about 80 kilo, who wants a board that's going to get them in the waves early. I mean, a heavier guy could surf this quite easily, who's used to surfing maybe a shorter tap board in our range will be the Egg here. This one's 7'6" by 22, and as you can see, it's got a narrow nose and a mini mouth, standard mini mouth, so it's going to be easy to punch through the waves. 22 inches wide, still got plenty of stability. This one's fitted with a single box and a single fin in the middle, and then side fins, so you've got a choice of how you want to set it up. Board features quite a lot of volume in the middle here, but the deck comes down to quite a pinch type rail here, because we roll the bottom, we roll the deck, so the rail's 50-50, slightly higher rail on the nose here, and then going down to a lower, thinner rail on the tail. The plan shape's quite generous, got a generous amount of surface area here, through the middle. It's going to be a nice stable board, going to be good in bigger waves. This one, as you can see, features a white and black tint. Dan has laminated this board with a white pigment down the middle here, and then a black pigment in these points here. Brought it around the rail, so this point around the deck here, we've got a clear deck, and then we finished the board with a beautiful gloss finish. So it's a really beautiful piece of art, as well as a really nice board. These are just some of the examples of the boards we've got available for you. Obviously we're making boards every day, all day, and we're always coming up with different ideas. We have lots of different custom shapes coming through here. All the boards can be made in epoxy. All the boards come, if you want, with any colour you want. You don't have to have the tints that are available, you don't have to have the gloss finish. We also have a range of fin systems, if you want single box and sides, thruster, quad. And of course we've got the FCS 2 fin system, as shown on this board here, which is the new system where the fins just plug in and plug out. Really simple, really easy to use. I think they're going to be very popular over the next year. What your ability and what type of board you're after, I think we're going to find something here that's suitable for you here at Escape Surfboards. Don't forget, we've got quite a big demo fleet. If you want to come and have a trial of board, then please give us a ring, come in and have a go. Well, I look forward to seeing you and wish you a very Merry Christmas.